Good afternoon and welcome to Audiotree Live. The date is Monday, October 17th, and we are so pleased to have with us live in the studio, Moontooth. You're watching Audiotree Live, and we are in the studio with Moontooth. Thanks for being here, guys. So you're currently in the middle of an extensive tour right now, supporting. It's your first full length, right?
Yes.
You had the Freaks EP, and then you have Chroma Paragon. You've said you have lots of fun stories from touring and from being on the road. One of them involves a gorilla costume borrowed from the band Tool. I was wondering if you guys could elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, so we toured with Intronaut over the summer, and they had toured with Tool. And the last show of that tour was in California. It was like a hometown show for them. And unbeknownst to us, they called up Justin Chancellor, the bass player, because they wanted to borrow a gorilla costume from him. Because Harambe was big then. I think Harambe's still pretty big now. R.I.P. So we we were just playing. We were on like the last song, and all of a sudden, it's a very serious moment. We're gonna play the song here today. It's a very spoken word, very serious moment. You know, the room's totally silent, and then everybody starts laughing. And I'm like, what? I turn around, and there's a gorilla walking at me, and the dudes from Intronaut with signs like "Bush did Harambe" and "Shine on you, crazy gorilla," things like that.
What's your guys' opinion on, I guess, the whole Harambe thing? Because I know people at the zoo are sort of sick of the joking, but then at the same time, do you think that these tributes are genuine tributes?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's just people on the internet being shitty.
Yeah. Well, and so I guess when you saw that and you saw that was sort of this Harambe thing, were you like, man, don't make fun of Harambe, or were you just like, oh, that's funny, a guy in a gorilla suit on stage?
No, we were laughing about it all summer with them.
Yeah. When someone comes on stage in a gorilla suit, regardless of the connection, it's going to be funny, right?
Yeah.
It was an honor to have them, to have Intronaut wear a gorilla suit on stage.
Totally.
It was hilarious, but it was also very like a sweet thing too.
Yeah. Once, and it's nice to have a band who's been around a little bit longer than you. Sort of, it's sort of like a sign of respect in a way. I feel like.
Yeah. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
We were out with them for a month, so it was like a really nice note. The last show was a nice note to go out on.
Yeah, like a big spectacle thing. Was there any moment where any of you guys thought that it was an actual gorilla, and maybe you got scared for a second?
Not really.
It wasn't a super convincing suit then, I'm guessing.
We can't afford real gorillas yet.
Yeah.
One day.
Someday.
Yeah.
I mean, because the guys from Intronaut and Tool, they're all in the special effects of maybe they could come up with some Planet of the Apes looking really convincing suit next time if they ever do that for you.
If they do that, we could be involved, then that'd be sick.
Yeah, anytime they do anything involving a gorilla, I think you guys should be involved. Speaking of suits, is the Halloween season, and you're a very big horror movie fan, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one? Or one that you watch every year at least?
Every year, probably like Hellraiser, like original Texas Chainsaw.
Hocus Pocus.
Not sure if that counts.
Hocus Pocus kind of holds up in a weird family movie way. Yeah.
It's a little scary. I've had bad dreams.
Yeah. He's like, I watch every day and go home. What's the scariest part of Hocus Pocus for you, do you think?
Bette Midler.
Yeah. Oh, good. Low blow. You better hope she's not watching, because she's gonna materialize in the studio in her her witch getup. Are you guys horror movie fans as well?
I really like the Rob Zombie remakes. I think they're pretty sick.
Yeah. Of what, like Halloween and?
Yeah.
Do you also like the original? And they're kind of like polar opposites,
I'm not the biggest horror movie guy, but when they're on, I watch them and I freak out at night when I go to sleep. So
yeah, pulling the sheets up to your
yeah, definitely. Even at 26 years old,
just up to your eyes, like chattering and everything like that. Yeah, cool. Well, let's hear another song, shall we?
Yeah.
Ready?
Tear the
Audiotree Live, and we're in the studio with Moontooth. I love the little bring ending there. Has like kind of a second little different thing. That's really awesome.
It's a little like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of funny. You know, I think that
exactly. Yeah.
Do you guys think it's important for heavy music to be a little bit funny in a way?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the best music has like a little bit of a sense of humor to it.
Yeah, totally. And I don't know. Do you guys think that bands, when they tend to have music that's either heavy or dark or ominous, do you guys think that sometimes they have a hard time taking themselves lightly, or do you feel like most bands have a good sense of humor? Not asking to name names. I'm just curious in general.
It depends on who it is.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the heavy bands that we've met over the years are usually like very polite and very like funny and laid back.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
I think playing such angry music like really like curbs a lot of like negative emotions. So like it makes sense that a metalhead would be a jolly dude. You know?
No, totally. Didn't they do some study last year where it was saying that most people who listen to metal are actually pretty down to earth, or there's something about it being like almost soothing in a way or something? Yeah.
Dude, it's been our experience. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Has it been like cathartic for you guys, just this kind of music in general, in a way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we leave it all on the stage.
Yeah.
Like no exaggeration.
Yeah, no, totally. And then you get off and it's gorilla suit time and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have two very contrasting vocal styles, just with the rougher singing and the cleaner singing. Was that something that became very apparent early on when you started writing or working together, or did you have to figure that out over time?
I think right off the bat, that was that. Like, basically, like when we started going, you know, the guys had heard me sing before and kind of knew what I did. So just kind of hit the ground running. And then everything I did kind of like, I've always definitely changed just from playing off of these guys, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He takes the pressure off of me to have to sing notes.
Yeah. No, do you sing clean elsewhere, like not in this band, but maybe
I have
in
a little bit
thing?
of clean in this band, and then just like, you know, at home in the shower.
And you're getting clean too, so it's a good time to do that and everything.
Sing some clean
And
stuff.
I go to the shower to get dirty, actually.
Yeah, it's the opposite thing. The clean singer gets dirty in the shower. The dirty singer gets clean.
We shower together, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's
Yin
good
and yang,
for
always.
bands. Do any of you guys live together or anything, or are you all together in like a compound or anything like that?
Yeah, our house is parked outside.
Yeah, we actually all live together.
I mean, I guess you do live together, half of the year or however long your tour is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have all adapted to, I don't know, just being in a van together, and is there ever tension on the road, arguments or anything like that, or is it pretty mellow?
I mean, like 20-hour drives get pretty crazy. We're just like screaming like lunatics, but it's all in good fun.
It's more just getting that kind of getting stir crazy and
if you follow us on Snapchat, you'll get a little taste of that.
Follow them on Snapchat if you want to see some crazy stuff.
Follow Vin on Snapchat. No Moontooth.
Yeah, is there a Moontooth Snapchat I'm not aware of?
You gotta get on that.
What's your Snapchat handle?
It's like fuck Snapchat or something like that.
Does it just have the little, like, is the logo even just like, it's just the ghost thing or whatever it is? Or
Yeah,
it's sort of a...
I was so against it, and now I just abuse it. So
yeah.
He's really funny with it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you can really embrace Snapchat and be funny and kind of give the middle finger to it as well, through a name or...
It's a fun thing.
Yeah, I like Snapchat. I mean, I'm kind of lying because I've never really used it. I mean, I know what it is, and I've looked at funny stuff on it, but I've never done it myself. So maybe you'll inspire me after looking at yours for a little bit. We'll see. Cool, let's go into the next song. You're watching Audiotree Live, and we're in the studio with Moontooth. John, going back to the stage antics and everything, I've also been told that you have made cardboard swords for people, and can you explain that, sort of what led to that, what the outcome was, if it's a regular thing?
I did that once at a hometown show. There's a lot of sword antics over the years, normally just with me, but we played a hometown show, and we was in the middle of a tour, and like in the span of fucking like 20 minutes or something like that, raced back to Nick and our buddy Joe's house, and made these cardboard swords. And then basically in this one part, there's a song we would always open with called Ebb Flow, and there's a minute of no vocals at the end of the song, so I always find something to do to kind of break the fourth wall and, you know, loosen people up a little bit. And so, I divvied out the cardboard swords and spread everybody apart and did a kind of like wall of death with swords and everything like that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah. How big was the audience of that show? Was it like a club show, or was it like a bigger venue?
I was at this place called Revolution on Long Island. It was pretty big. We had a pretty big crowd. It was a lot of fun.
And how many swords were in the audience altogether?
Not enough.
Yeah. People start.
25?
Yeah, something like that.
People start fighting over the swords.
Yeah, they look like cardboard machetes, basically.
Yeah. So did you do the thing where you like wrapped aluminum foil on the blade to make it look
spray paint?
Oh, cool. That's pretty good. Like a chromatic, like a chrome.
Yeah, silver and then a black handle. So it really looked like it was like a piece of cardboard folded in half, taped together with masking tape, spray painted.
Nice. Now, why you said a lot of sword antics over the years? Is anyone in the band like a fantasy reader or anything like that, or why?
I'm actually a knight. I was knighted. No, I'm just kidding. We had our buddy Joe found this huge Nerf sword, so I would use that to take it around. I'd run around the crowd and like slay people, pretend to slay people, basically, which has almost gotten us kicked out a couple times.
Oh, really? Like people didn't like it?
Just because I'll like
John attacked
the staff. The staff aren't.
Oh, did he really? You attacked the bartender?
I jumped over the bar one show, and the guy was really pissed.
Ooh, man, he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, people don't like the bar jumping, but it's fucking rock and roll.
Yeah, man, I know. There's got to be a little bit of danger.
Yeah, it's not. If it's safe, it's not rock and roll.
It's not that people should be getting legit hurt all the time or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as
shake you up a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes when you go to see a lot of indie rock bands, it does seem a little just kind of standing up there strumming. I think it's good to throw a wrench in the gears.
Yeah, I like indie. I like indie rock a lot, but I went to a show in Manhattan recently, and it was like a more rowdy band, and like I'm up front trying to jump around, and everybody around me was just like,
chill.
Like, are you kidding me right now?
Do you feel, because you don't have an instrument in your hand, do you feel like when there are these stretches where it's just the band going, is it sometimes hard to think of ways to fill that space, or do you feel content just kind of up on stage thrashing around?
It's a mix. Earlier days I did a lot more goofy stuff, and I don't do as many goofy things. I like getting the crowd involved and like making it about a whole room of people enjoying themselves rather than a band and somebody watching. And in terms of on stage, as a singer with no instruments, I like very much to, even if I'm not singing, I'm still performing. So I think it's, my job is to mentally be in it. And, because I feel like just my personal style, if there's a part with no vocals and I'm going off the side, this, you know what I mean? It's distracting.
I mean, it could be fun if you made like a really big thing out, like I started making a sandwich or peeling a banana or something like that.
Get one of those green hats and do my taxes.
Yeah.
Didn't you like make peanut butter and jelly at one point, like as many as you could in like the Ebb Flow or something like that? Or was that
there was probably some food stuff involved at some point.
That's kind of good.
Yeah.
Feed the crowd. Yeah.
Do
a little comedy routine.
We do like positive notes too.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, believe in yourself, that kind of stuff. Just like a little bit of inspiration for anyone who needs it. Yeah.
You should tell that to the bartender, if you see him again.
That was in South Carolina, and the guy said he was like this close to like shooting you, basically.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we became good friends.
Yeah, he ended up being cool by the end of the night.
Shout out to Boone.
Yeah, Boone.
Boone, we're here with you.
Yeah.
You're here with us. Great, let's hear another song then.
All right. Bang your head at home.
were watching Audiotree live, and we were in the studio with Moontooth. One of the most prominent lyrics in that song that stood out to me was "I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love." But so my question is Igneous a love song? Would you say?
Not exactly. I think they're all probably love songs in some way. But the line is actually "I made love." The line
man,
no, it's cool. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
The line's "I made love to my ordeals by the light of holy fire."
Oh, okay, gotcha. So not quite at least the traditional love song.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's about like facing the hard shit, not running away from anything inside you. So that's a form of self-love. So sure.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, do you think that love songs don't necessarily have to be directed at a significant other or the object of someone's affection? They can be, broader, I guess. Banned question for all four of you guys.
So what was the whole question? I'm sorry, I was adjusting my
well, I was saying,
headphones.
Do you think that a love song? Do you think something can be a love song if it's not necessarily directed towards another man or a woman? Like if it's directed towards yourself or a higher power or something else like that?
Oh yeah, you could find love in anything.
Yeah,
we have a new song.
Any art.
We have a new song that's actually kind of about, being in love with what we do and being in love with like being on the road, even though like it's killing us.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Loving it so much that you'd let it kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, is that on Chroma Paragon or is that a brand new song?
No, it's brand new. We played it before, so you don't get to see it at home. But
sorry. Well, come see him on tour if you want to see
we are playing it on this tour.
Yeah, so in a state or city near you. Are you guys ready for the last song then?
Yeah. Sure.
Cool, let's do it.
One more time.
four winds and only solids left to lift, but mass is pretend when you play its spectacle. All the silent tingles in the air pulse, and the animals know you're coming.
You've been watching Audiotree Live, and we have been in the studio with Moontooth. Be sure to pick up Chroma Paragon if you want to catch them on tour. They're coming to a lot of cities. Latest stop is tonight, Monday, October 17th, at State Street Pub in Indianapolis, correct? And they're supporting Tooth Grinder and Auras, so if you're into heavy music, definitely check that out. We want to thank everyone in the sound studio for making us sound good, all the engineers. We want to thank Lights and Camera for making us look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. And we want to thank, of course, the band again for playing. Of course, as always, we want to thank you for watching. If you want to get in touch with us, feel free to reach out on social media, or if you just want to say good job to the band, you can do that too. And this stream will be available for purchase soon, obviously. From all of us here at Audiotree, take care until the next session, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Awesome job, guys.